Hello. Are you
Hi
right, Paul?
everyone. Yes, I'm good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm not bad. Look, I always jump in there, don't I? I always jump in. So I'm going to ask you to take the helm, take the ropes this week, and start us off.
Yeah, well, why not? I'm going to start off by saying we would absolutely love to receive your comments. We'd love it if you could share this video and share any video that you might have watched of ours, of which this is the 44th one.
There she
And
is.
really, it's testament to how much we enjoy getting your comments and shares that we've lasted this long, nearly 56. Nearly 52, which would be a whole year. There's lots of history videos as well on our Facebook pages. So if this is the first time you've joined us, why don't you check out some of the other videos at another point in time? If you enjoy this one, which we hope you will, have a look on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. You'll find lots of videos there. There's 43 other Shanty Sessions, and there's over 30 history sessions, which are all fascinating. They're led by our local historian, Ivan Bunn, and we hope to bring them back to you one day. In the meantime, those comments have come in already. Firstly, Carly Franklin says, "Evening, Paul, Stephen, and everyone. Hope all is keeping safe and well." And that is the crucial thing, really. We hope, just like Carly hopes, you're keeping safe, well, dry, warm, all those things, and healthy. And we hope very much that you're enjoying these sessions. If there's any comments you want to make, anything like that, please feel free. Carly is one of our regular rogues. She's been joining us for a long time, even when we were able to meet up in person. Now, one person who's been joined, well, they've joined in along the way of these 44 live stream Shanty Sessions is Linda Boyd. She says, "Hi, one and all." And one of our newest rogues, who says he hopes to join us in person when we get together for our sessions at the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft, is Tom McQuillan. He joined us last week for the first time. Hi, Tom. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. He even joined us for the Zoom chat that we do afterwards nowadays. And if you'd like to join us, we would love to have you in our live chat. Really, it's for our regular rogues, but anybody else that wants to join in is very welcome. And Tom did exactly that, and we didn't manage to put him off, so he's back again. If you want to join us, the details are just streaming along the bottom of the screen right now. Stephen's pointing to it on a conveyor belt. Pat Briggs, one of our regular rogues, says, "Hello, everyone. Pleased to be with you," as is Ben Southern. Evening, everyone. Jonathan Breendall, he's been joining us along the way, and he says, "Looking forward to hearing you two today. Thanks for being here." Well, Jonathan, we'd be here anyway. So thank you for being here to make it a little bit more social for us.
Yeah.
Likewise is Dave Vanderbrucker. He says, "Hello, everyone." He joins us usually from the States. I wonder where he's from today. Dave, let us know. Put it in a comment if you would. I'm going to whip through these because I'm taking a long time. "Good evening, everyone," says Michelle Gallagher. "Hi, everyone," says Chloe Schneider. Bill Lyman. "Hello, guys and all." And our lovely Canadian correspondent, "A friendly wave from Canada's West Coast."
Cooey.
West Coast represent, says Marianne Boucher.
Marianne Boucher is in the house. Okay, so we're going to do a few more. We're going to do a few more mentions in a short while. But first thing we want to say, not the first thing, because Paul has said the first thing, but we cannot proceed without acknowledging our wonderful sponsors, which are down there. That is the People's Health Trust, and under a fund called Active Communities. We usually would be meeting with our wonderful rogue shanty chorus at the wonderful, equally wonderful Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft. And obviously, because of the pandemic, globally, nationally, and otherwise, we cannot do that safely. And so very early on in the pandemic, the 16th of March, we took our rehearsals online and they became virtual rehearsals. And we've done it, as Paul mentioned, ever since. We've done 43, in fact, soon to be 44. And so that's what we're doing here. And it's really only through the support of the People's Health Trust who've helped us to continue connecting people. And wonderfully, this has evolved into a kind of an intercultural, worldwide shanty exchange, which is a fantastic thing. And both Paul and myself are buoyed up, pun intended. So anyway, look, I'm going to start with a song. This is not in our repertoire. We do share lyrics on screen, usually, if they're within our repertoire, but I kind of hope you know this because it's a beautiful song, and it's written by Peter Bellamy. And Paul and myself have a shanty group, and there's a great singer in our group called Chris, Baby Shanty, we call him, and he does this absolutely wonderfully. He gives it the manliness, but he also gives it a beautiful soulfulness as well, and he manages that contrast extremely well. So I'm not sure I really want to sing it, just in case he's listening. But this is a wonderful song from Peter Bellamy's folk opera from, I'm going to say 1976, The Transports. And it's a song called Roll Down. I've done it before because I love it, as well as a couple of others from that musical. And they do say that a good shanty man was worth 6 on the rope. And let me tell you, Peter Bellamy, if ever you were lucky enough to hear him before he passed away, he was a good shanty man. And Paul and I we sang at a maritime festival, and a lady came up and said, I grew up with Peter Bellamy, and he was a wonderful fellow as well, and his sister as well, this lady knew, and she loved our version of this. Sweet ladies of Plymouth, we're saying goodbye. Roll, roll down, we'll rock you and roll you again by and by. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. Now the anchor's away and the sails are unfurled. Roll, roll down. We're bound for to take her halfway around the world. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. In the wide Bay of Biscay, the seas will run high. Roll, roll down. The poor sickly transports, they'll wish they could die. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. The wild coast of Africa, it do appear. Roll, roll down. The poor nervous transports that tremble with fear. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. When the Cape of Good Hope it is rounded at last. Roll, roll down. The poor lonesome transports, they'll long for the past. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. When the great southern whales on our quarter do spout. Roll, roll down. The poor simple transports, they'll goggle and shout. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. When we arrive off Australia's strand, roll, roll down. The poor weary transports, they'll long for the land. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. And when we set sail for old England shore, roll, roll down. The poor stranded transports, we'll see them no more. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down. Sweet ladies of Plymouth, we'll pay all your rent. Roll, roll down, and go roving no more till our money's spent. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down, and we'll roll, roll down. Walk around me, brave boys, and roll down.
Nicely done, mate.
Thank you very much. It's very kind of you to say so.
Yeah, we've got a lot of comments coming, so I'm going to go straight to them before I forget. Karen Reed says, good evening. Good evening, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Ahoy all, says Sude.
Hey.
Dave Vanderbrooker has updated me as to his location. I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, where we are between snowstorms. Well, Dave, we are also between snowstorms, and it's not massively cold here, but we've had quite a bit of snow on the East Coast. Ali Dowd is a new name that I think I don't recognize that yet. So Ali, you're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in. She says, hi, I'm from the west coast of Scotland.
Lovely.
And another new name, Val Highlands. Hi, I'm new from Sussex. Lovely to have you.
Hey, Val, I take it you mean you're new to us, not new to everything. You're not.
Yeah, not newly born.
No.
Yeah. No, I guess you don't get an awful lot of sea shanties in Sussex as well.
No. Well, do you know what? Actually, yeah, we're going to talk about landlocked shanty men actually a little bit later. And in fact, aren't all shanty men landlocked at the moment? We're all landlubbers.
Yeah. We'd especially like to hear from our Polish friends on landlocked shanties. Chloe Schneider says, can't wait to get back to normal. Well, I think we all agree with that. Whatever normal's going to look like, we want to get there. Sarah Jordan, evening all. Apologies for being late to the party. Well, it certainly is a party now that you're here. Thanks, Sarah. Anne Ben says, hello, everyone. I'm watching, but no sound. I think I switched it off on iPad somewhere. That's probably the best way to view us with no sound. And if you can't hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Try sliding the mute button on the top left side of the iPad. Ooh. Sandra Warner says, hi, everyone. Just managed to hear Stephen. Lovely. Oh, I think she means Stephen. Lovely. His name's not Stephen Lovely. Another foreign correspondent or abroad, Sally Jane M. Enjoying it here in Portugal. Well, what a lovely place to be enjoying us.
That's a new flag to put on our Shanty Sessions.
It is, isn't it? Portuguese. Yeah, lovely. Michelle Gallagher gives you 3 rounds of applause, as does Val Highlands. Thank you very much. And another new name, Mikhail Maslovsky. Hello, Super Sound. Thank you very much. And I hope you're very well, Mikhail. Thank you for joining us. I wonder where you're from. That certainly sounds kind of, I don't know, Balkan.
Polish or Ukrainian, maybe.
I think it's further north than that, but we'll see. Mikhail, do let us know where you're from. And Joe Cornell says hi. Hi, Joe. Jonathan Breendle, we're in the middle of a snowstorm up here near Boston. I take it you mean Boston, America, and you're still there rather than the real Boston in Lincolnshire, England.
New England.
Martha Knox Forrester says, hello all. Sorry to keep going through these, but we do love to get your comments. So thank you very much for all your comments.
And then Joe Cornell, if somebody does comment, we want them to comment again, don't we? So if we just ignore them, they're not really encouraged to do so, are they?
Exactly. So I'm not going to ignore them. I'm a long-time lover of shanty, says Joe Cornell. And John Dacom says, hi, from Rugby in the middle of the UK. Also not a great place for shanties, but hopefully we can check that with your help.
I love that hat. Look at that hat on John. My goodness, he looks like that is a great hat.
Good hat game, John. Evening all, one and all, says Maggie. Kathy Ashman. Hello, Kathy. Hi, guys. Lovely shanty. Bernie Gooch. That's the name I recognise. Hi, I am Stephen. Your hat game's poor.
Hang on.
Hi, I'm new to the Shanty Session. Thanks to Stephen for the invite. Bernie Gooch. How would I know Bernie?
I don't know. Hang on. Don't you want to take a moment to acknowledge my hat? There you go, Moscow.
Yeah, I told you, further north. Hi, Mikhail. Lovely to have you from Moscow. If you're still in Moscow viewing us, even if you're not, certainly lovely to have you anyway. Saw you at Harwich, maybe this October. Oh, we'd love to be there. P.S. I'm in Essex. Francis Davis. Wow, we've got a lot of comments today already. Good evening from Hexham, Northumberland. I'm ex-Lowestoft. A quick visit tonight. Thank you. Lovely. Well, you can view us from anywhere you like, really, even from Moscow. Linda Carol Wiles. Hi, nice to hear you guys. Seems ages. Well, we've been here every week, so you've got several to catch up on, Linda. David Woods from the lovely Woods household. Hello on this Arctic evening. And yes, I'm going to be adding to that feel with the next song, which I'll come to. Janice Goodall, love shanties, all the best to Hampshire folkies. Yes, all the best to our friends in Hampshire. And finally, for now, Janice Goodall, where are you? We are we're from Lowestoft, so we're the East Coast to represent. It's the very bottom. By bottom, I mean bum shape of Great Britain. That lump right into the wash, right against the North Sea. That's where we're from, Lowestoft, furthest point east in Great Britain that you can get to. So thank you for asking. That's where we run our sea shanty choir, the Rogue Shanty Chorus, and they look like this on a good day. This was during one of our sellout shows in the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft, possibly the most easterly theatre in Pakefield. And this wasn't the full complement of our chorus, but certainly most of them. And we had a lovely sellout audience there, and we had a great show. And that's what we look like. in Lowestoft, East Anglia, Suffolk of England, Great Britain.
Yeah.
Anyway,
shall we? Why don't you give him a song, Paul?
Do you know what? I know we that's what we're here for. But before we do, I'm just going to mention that our competition for the night, for which you win nothing, even if you win. No, not Nick's.
9.
Yet. So tonight, our word of the week, which we call "Hey Heard It Boy," is gulsh.
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 And what if you are new to us? What is this about? Well, there's a wonderful gentleman called Edward Moore, and he was in service in India. And when he came back to his beloved Suffolk, he decided that many of the local colloquialisms, terms, and phrases that were native to Suffolk seemed to be in decline. And so he put this book together. It's considered actually a very important piece of etymological work, and he did that as a way to hopefully discourage the non-use of words that were local to Suffolk. And by golly, I think he actually succeeded, because there are many words in this that we know are still in common parlance, as the term goes, but we pick some that are not, or we think are not, and we ask you to have a guess what they might mean. Okay, so as Paul said, you can't win anything. Don't cheat. You shouldn't find it on the internet anyway. But don't cheat. Let us know what you think. Either have a good laugh, bit of a mess around, or have a proper serious guess.
Anyway, I promised another sea shanty, and this time I'm going to go to Mollymore. I believe it's number 24. But if you don't have a folder because you're not one of our regular rogues, we're going to display the lyrics for you to sing along. And please do sing along. We would absolutely love for you to sing along. I really want to know that you're with me singing as the chorus. If you don't want to sing the whole verse, then just sing the indented lines, which is what the shanty man wouldn't sing. So please do sing along with us. This is Mollymore, and I'll give you a brief explanation later. Oh, the Southern Ocean is a lonely place where the storms are many and the shelter scarce. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. On the restless waters and the troubling sky, there you'll see that Mollymore wheel and fly. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Ride the wind and go, Mollymore. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. See the Mollymore riding on his white, white wings, and Lord, what a lonesome song he sings. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. He's got no compass and he's got no gear. There's none can tell you how the Mollymore steer. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Ride the wind and go, Mollymore. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. He's the ghost of a sailor man, so I've heard say, whose body sank and his soul flew away. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. He's got no haven, he's got no home, bound forevermore to wheel and roam. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Ride the wind and go, Mollymore. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. When I get too weary for to sail no more, let my bones sink better far away from shore. Down upon the Southern Ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. You can cast me loose, leave me drifting free. and I'll keep that big bird company. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Ride the wind and go, Molly Moore. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Won't you ride the wind and go, white seabird? Ride the wind and go, Molly Moore. Down upon the southern ocean, sailing down below Cape Horn. Now, the Mollymawk. What's it all about, I hear you asking very quietly from far away. Now, the Mollymawk is a bird of medium size. It's an albatross, essentially, and it forms the genus Thalassaca. The name has sometimes also been used for the Phoebetria, but these are usually called the sooty albatrosses. Now, they're restricted to the southern hemisphere, where they are, in fact, the most common of all those many albatrosses. The Mollymawk is the most common in the southern hemisphere, where it is restricted to. The Southern Ocean, as mentioned in the song, also known as the Antarctic Ocean or the Austral Ocean. It's the southernmost waters of the world, generally taken to be south of 60 degrees south latitude, and it encircles Antarctica. That's where you'd find the Southern Ocean. Now, the reason this song references the Mollymawk is because sailors of many superstitions, this is one, and it's believed that as the lyrics say, either the sailors become the Mollymawk, or in fact, sailors that have lost their life at sea, their soul is carried away upon the wings of the Mollymawk, and the Mollymawk is a guardian of sailors' souls. It references bone sinking better far away from shore. In fact, this is a bit of a fallacy. Sailors did not want to die at sea. That's kind of a romantic vision, but it's not true. They wanted to die at home, obviously. If preferably not to die at all. But if they're going to die, they wanted to die at home. And if they died at sea, they desperately wanted their bodies to be repatriated and returned to their home, where they could be buried in the local churchyard, so their families could visit them. There's lots of superstitions and traditions around this. One of which is that if a sailor did die at sea but remained on board so they could get him home, the body had to be carried feet first, so that the soul didn't know from where it came, and it couldn't return to the ship and haunt it.
Well, there you go. Look, things we didn't know about things we didn't know, and now we know.
There are no knowns and unknown unknowns.
Yeah. So look, just a quick reminder that at 8:30 p.m., so that's 36 minutes and 40 seconds, we're heading on over to Zoom for a post live stream shanty chat. I got that wrong last week and it made a rude word. Okay. So if you would like to join us, just join us. It doesn't matter if you're a member. If you've been listening in for a long time, it doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter if you're here for the first time tonight. We've just got 30 minutes, because what happened was through last year, through 2020, we broadcast until approximately 9 p.m. But we've just decided to try and make this a bit more social and go until 8:30 p.m. And then at 8:30 p.m. we switch over to Zoom. We don't go live with that. You do not go live, so don't worry about that at all. But it's just a chance to have a chat about all things shanty and wet related or sea adjacent, as people said. If you'd like to join us, as the link says, just go to thevoicecloud.co.uk/Zoom. You need Zoom installed on whatever device you're on, and it's got all the details there, password and details. Okay, so anyway, look, I'm going to do you a song now. This is this song called Haul Away Joe. It's Round 809. The version I'm going to do actually is from this wonderful book here, Sea Songs and Shanty by James Brown and Son, Glasgow. I don't think it's the James Brown. I think it's a different one.
Good God!
But I'm going to take it to the bridge, nevertheless. And he simply says, look, there's just a beautiful little piece on this. If my camera can autofocus. No, it can't. There you go. He simply says, a song used as a last short pull for sweating up. Importantly, a last short pull. So kind of approaching dry land. And when our chorus do this, we actually do this in 4/4, but they note here that it's in 6/8 different time signatures. So although I'm going to bring the lyrics up, I'm gonna do it in 6/8. And it's a tack and sheet shanty, by the way. Our version is a long drag because we've got more verses. Simple as that. Short drag, less verses. Long drag, more verses. Quite simply. When I was a little lad, and so my mother told me, way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe, that if I did not kiss the gals, me lips would all go moldy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, the good ship is a-boarding. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, the sheet is now unfolding. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. But then he got his head cut off, which spoiled his constitution. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul away together. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. The cook is in the galley, boys, making duff so handy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. The captain's in his cabin, lads, drinking wine and brandy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, I'll sing to you of Nancy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, she's just my cotton fancy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Okay, so a couple of time signatures there. That based on the fact that Paul sent me a message saying we haven't got too long, so maybe not in 6/8. But anyway, that was, I mean, the version that our chorus know lyrically is from Stan Hugel. This one was collected by, as we mentioned, James Brown, based in Glasgow. Haul Away Joe, 6/8, just 3 verses for his, and I couldn't really have sung that anyway. Certainly, it was different times, and we would have had to Baudelairize some of the lyrics in there, so change them basically because they were inappropriate to sing in today's climate.
Yeah. Now, going back to the comments. Long one from Sally Jane M, our Portuguese correspondent today. Obrigada, she says. I used to belong to a sea shanty group when I worked in Saudi Arabia. Well, did not know it was popular in Saudi Arabia. It was during the 80s. Funnily enough, quite a good group of us singing then. Apart from that, sea shanties are plenty. Hometown in Lyme Regis, and very much miss our Lyme Regis Folk Festival. Better than Sidmouth. Oh, that sounds like some folky rivalry going on there.
People will rub in, Sally Jane. You have to be careful, you know.
Yep. Chris Collins joins us. Says, evening all. Good evening, Chris. Janice Goodall says, fabulous words too. Well, yeah, you get the whole compliment here because we need to know that you're joining in with us. And by joining in, I mean singing along from home, sharing the video and the link, or just putting the comments in, which you have, or perhaps even commenting what you think our word of the week is. This week, our word of the week from Edward Moore's book of Suffolk Words and Phrases is the word gulch. What do we think that might mean? Well, we've got a few guesses already, and I'm going to try one. Sarah Jordan says gulch, slops, rubbish. Could be, but we're not going to tell you till the end.
No.
Steve Greenwood says, evening all, not been here for a while. Well, Steve, you're very welcome. Obrigada, as Sally said. Are you related to Wilson Gooch? Just asking. Well, I think that's Bernie.
Aimed at Bernie. So, Bernie, I have to answer.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Bernie. Michelle Gallagher loves singing Molly Mork, and as we did earlier, gulch, could it be a mass of liquid? Well, sounds reasonable, Carly. Rosemary Balcott says one of the Rogues' favourite. I think that must be for Haulaway Joe.
No, that was in relation to Mollymore, and I did display that. So were those comments from Sandra, Val, and Michelle.
Okay. Martha Knox Forrester has a guess at Gulch. Over sentimental, over the top. Could be. I see where you're going with that one. Janice Goodall says, good one. Didn't know it. Gulch. Slush, says Rosemary. We've got a lot of good guesses coming in so far. Steve Greenwood says, looking forward to a JB shanty. Papa's got a brand new boat. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
And you certainly can take that to the bridge.
Yeah, you certainly can, yeah.
The Bascule Bridge.
Hi, Alison Wellings, says Chris Collins. Hello, Alison. And she returns the gesture by saying, hi, Chris. Now, Pat Briggs is going topical because we're in the middle of a snowstorm. Can't remember what the storm is called at the moment. Can you, Stephen?
No.
Anyway, Pat Briggs says snow. Slush? Could be. Gulch. Sounds similar, doesn't it?
Does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Right, I'd like to sing you a song now called The Wild Goose Shanty. You won't find it in your repertoire, but you will find it on Roud, index 328. Bertie Lloyd, of which I'm going to try to emulate his version or similar to. He said, one of the great Halyard shanties, seemingly better known in English ships than American ones, although some versions of it have become crossed with the American song called Huckleberry Hunting. From the graceful movement of its melody, or hopefully, it is possible that this is an older shanty than most. Perhaps it evolved out of some long-lost lyrical song. That was in 57. In 64, on one of his albums, he said songbook editors like to classify shanties according to the task they were supposed to accompany. Short drag, halyard, windlass, pump shanty. But this one, like many others, was used for any job. Sometimes it starts, I'm the shanty man of the Wild Goose Nation, which is perhaps a reference to Ireland. Wild geese is named for 17th century Irish patriots who fled their country to take service with foreign kings. This tune was collected by W. Roy Mackenzie, who got it from a seaman settled in Nova Scotia. The Wild Goose Nation is variously thought to refer to the Irish or the Native Americans. Stan Hugel offered the theory that it might be a sailor's corruption of whale grease. Whatever the meaning, this enigmatic song creates a tremendous atmosphere with its Ranzo chorus. And just to give you a little bit of heads up on Ranzo, because it does feature quite heavily. Ranzo is an Italian boy's name derived from ranzare, which means to cut away. So perhaps this was a favorite on one of the cutters. We'll have to see if we can do some more research and find out. Anyway, you won't find this in your catalogue or in your repertoire because it's new to you. If you do know it, sing along with me, please. Did you ever see a wild goose sailing on the ocean? Ranzo, Ranzo, away. They're just like them young girls when they take the notion. Ranzo, Ranzo, away. I met a young woman walking by the river. Ranzo, Ranzo, away. And in every step she made her topsails a quiver. Ranzo, Ranzo, away. I slewed up to her and says, how are you, my darling? Ranzo, Ranzo, away. She says, none the better for seeing you this morning. Ranzo, Ranzo, away. Did you ever see a wild goose sailing on the ocean? Ranzo, Ranzo, away. They're just like them young girls when they get the notion. Ranzo, Ranzo away. Ranzo, Ranzo away. Wild Goose Shanty.
Lovely. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. I like that tremendously. Not heard that. Do you know what, Paul? We kind of, Paul and I think we take quite a pride in thinking that there's not many shanties that we don't know. But in the last 2 or 3 sessions, we've actually brought a few either shanties or maritime songs, folk songs along, and the other one's gone, didn't know that. So there you go. So I'm going to do one now. This is newish to the repertoire of the Rogue Shanty Chorus, number 57. To all you dirty, rascally rogues out there, if you want a heads up to look in your folder. If you haven't got a folder and you're not a dirty, rascally rogue, fret not, because we will pop the lyrics up on the screen. This is a song called The Calabar. And this is a kind of a departure for us because it's not a sea shanty. But as we said, we do sing songs that are wet or sea adjacent. And this is actually a very rare instance of a song being about the canal boats. Or the barges, and this is actually about a sailor who is sailing the Strabane Canal. I hope I've said that right. Someone will correct me if not. The food runs out, they hit mud, and they decide to throw off the captain's wife to lighten the ship. As it's obviously a humorous song, or maybe not obviously, but once you hear it, you'll decide that it is obvious. But it's kind of a bit of a dig at canal sailors. They often weren't taken that seriously by we'll say real sailors, and hence they got this moniker, which was an authentic name of dry land sailors. And as somebody once said, the most dangerous thing you'll find on board a barge or a canal boat is fleas, which kind of, I guess, hints to the fact that there's no real danger to being one of them. But anyway, this is a great version, and I know 2 versions of this, and I'd like to say that our version and the version that I'll do now is kind of an amalgamation of the 2. One is by the wonderful Liam Clancy, fantastic, and the other is by a group called the Wild Colonial Boys, and maybe not so well known, but certainly they were particularly well known in the 70s, and they had a great album called Glen Rowan to the Gulf. From the early 70s, and I believe this was on there. Okay, whether or not this is traditional is certainly up for grabs. There's a lot of chatter on the internet and on some archival sites that says it is, and then some as aggressively saying no, it's not. But anyway, I give you, without further ado, The Calabar. Come, all ye dry land sailors, and listen to me song. It's only 40 verses, and I won't detain yous long. It's all about the adventures of this old Lisbon tar, who sailed as a man before the mast on the good ship Calabar. Now the Calabar was a spanking craft, pitch bottom fore and aft. Her helmet stuck out far behind, and her wheel was a great big shaft. With half a gale to fill her sail, she'd do a knot per hour. She's the fastest craft on the Lagan Canal, and she's only 1 horsepower. Now the captain was a strapping lad, and he stood just 4'2". His eyes was red, and his nose was green, and his cheeks was a Prussian blue. He wore a leather medal that he won in the Crimea War, and the captain's wife was a passenger cook on the good ship Calabar. Now the captain says to me, "Me lad, look here, me lad," says he, "would you like to be a sailor and sail the raging sea? Would you like to be a sailor on foreign seas to roll, for under orders from Portadown with half a ton of coal?" It was early next morning, the weather being sublime. When passing under the old Queen's Bridge, we heard the Alberts chime. When going along the Gasworks Strait, a very dangerous part, we ran a hole on a lump of coal that wasn't marked down in the chart. Then all became confusion and the stormy winds did blow. The boatswain pressed on an orange peel, fell into the hole below. Put on more speed, the captain cried, for we are sorely pressed. But the engineer from the bank replied, the horse is doing his best. Then we all fell into the water and we let out a great big roar. There was a farmer standing there and he threw us the end of his glasses and he pulled us all ashore. No more I'll be a sailor or sail the raging main. And the next time I go to Portadown, I'll go by the bloody train. So the Calabar, well worth looking up the version by Liam Clancy, and in fact, Liam Clancy's version of anything, I guess. But number 57, so newish to us, and in fact, I think we introduced this to the chorus on the first lockdown. Yeah, Paul's
17th of March.
17th of March. This was introduced on the first lockdown session. I do believe that our Rogue Shanty chorus have not yet sung this together in person. So let's hope that before too long we can remedy that.
Yeah, just quickly, thank you to Rosemary Bowkett and Linda Carroll Wiles. They both update me that the storm hitting Great Britain at the moment is called Storm Darcy. Bernie, thankfully, has replied, no, not related. Sounds like he doesn't want to either. Sandra Warner says, Gulch, could it be another word for galoshes? Can't spell it. Well, that's good enough. Welly boots. Yeah.
She posted that before she knew I was going to do that song that mentions the words. I mean, he says galosses, but galoshes is the same thing, which is kind of was it kind of chest high waders? Are they?
Yeah. It describes those kind of things. So Jane M says, Gulch, could it mean a wet, soggy bog? Maybe. Could be. It's a good guess. Bill Lyman says, I was wondering about Ranzo earlier. I thought it might have been a shortened version of Lorenzo. Could be, or could be the same kind of origin, root of that word. Maggie Clark, Gulch, could it be seagull poo? Gull plus sh. Whoa, Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
I like where you go with that. Then.
Maggie.
Bill Lyman says, Gulch, Ario. Not sure what that means. Do you, Stephen? Ario? Arroyo?
No.
Michelle Gallagher didn't know that one. And Paul Dudley gets in touch. That's a name I don't recognise. He says, I be Captain Clyde Jackdaw. I'm part of the Black... Oh, it's not an Essex accent. Sorry. I'm part of the Blackwater crew from the Essex Pirate Society. Good evening, mateys. Good evening, Paul Dudley. Lovely to have a fellow shanty man along for the ride, along for the sail. And there's a big explanation about the Erie Canal from Bill Lyman. I can't go into it, but I will read that later because it does good. Michelle Gallagher.
I'm just going to give Sue Day a heads up to that comment by Bill Lyman because Sue is actually, she's got a wonderful pedigree with canals and horse-drawn boats, and you two should talk to each other. And if you don't, Sue, at least you should check out Bill's comment there. There's a lot of information packed into it.
Yeah, he says, I grew up near the Erie Barge Canal. I used to go and ride up on the bridge to watch the fuel barges go under. That sounds like a good pastime. I have a recording of that by the Clancy brothers, says Dave Vanderbrooker. You're absolutely right. Yep. We love that version.
I should, by the way, actually say I give a lot of credit to Liam Clancy, but the version I know is by Liam Clancy and Tommy Mackham with the Clancy brothers backing them. So sorry. Yeah.
3 rounds of applause from Michelle Gallagher. Useless fact from Karen. Dennis LeCorrier wrote a song called The Wild Colonial Boy. Yeah, but even that's Dennis LeCorrier. So.
Yeah, even more useless fact. Max Bedford sung it to her.
Sandra Warner says, did you see the Sheringham Shantymen on Lookies tonight? We need to get you boys on there somehow. I did. I sort of kind of in passing. Marion Bouchette says, Arroyo, a dry gully, Spanish origin, I suspect. Well, thank you, Marion. Very kind of you. I'm going to whip into another shanty. This one is 8 Bells. You'll find it in your regular shanty chorus repertoire. I believe the number 11, Stephen.
Yes, it is. Well done.
Thank you very much. And it's the Roud index is 13,268. It's often sung as a 4-bitter, or it certainly was. And 8 bells. Now, we use this as a description. Well, it's a wailing song, and 8 bells refers to the amount of bells and shifts that were carried out. The ship's bell was used to mark each duty watch, which consisted of 6 4-hour shifts with a 30-minute sand glass keeping the time. Every 30 minutes, the sand glass would be turned and the bell would be rung in a distinctive pattern to the crew, so they knew how far they were into their watch. At 8 bells, the shift ended and a new shift began. The exception was at midday, when the captain or officer on the deck would use a sextant to establish the sun's apex and then call noon, so that the shifts would then move slightly depending on whether or not the sun was right overhead. At that time, 8 bells ended the forenoon watch. Polishing the ship's bell would traditionally be done by the boatswain. However, it was the ship's cook who usually carried out this task. The boatswain's mate would start the cook's breakfast fire in the early morning, which allowed the cook to sleep in, and in exchange, the cook would shine the bell between meals. Fascinating. Now, this actually started life as a different song actually by a woman. And the lyrics were, "My husband's a saucy foretop man, a chum of the cook's, don't you know? He put his head down the cook's funnel and shouted, 'Come up from below. 8 bells, 8 bells,' blah, blah, blah." And then it pretty much echoes the version we know, but we're going to sing it as a sailor's version. And we have it on the screen there. Please do sing along with us, at least with the chorus. And it's called 8 bells, and it goes like this. I found myself shipped on a whaler, and I sailed to the far northern sea. And being a bold-hearted sailor, I cared not for icy nor breeze. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. When up in the hoops I was dandy, at sighting a whale, there she blows. And out in the whale boat was handy, a smarter young tar never rode. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Well, it always felt such a long time to be up there just on your own, and my mind would often wander to dream of my girl back at home. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. At the end of my watch, oh, my sea was to get to my bunk quickly, oh, for I wanted to dream of my Nancy. I called from the watch, hey below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. But now I'm no longer a sailor. I often wake up in the night and thinking I'm still on the whaler, call out with the greatest delight. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. So that is 8 bells. As we said, it's a whaling song, and it is particular to talking about the shift patterns on board a ship in 4-hour stints. The bell was struck, sounded every hour upon the turning of the sand glass, which signified 1/8 of your shift was gone. So on the 8th bell, you knew it was time to end your shift and a new shift would begin. Just quickly heading to some comments. We have one from Paul Dudley, great song, and one from Janice Marjoram. I like Kate Rusby's Wild Goose. Ranzo, my boys, oh Ranzo Ray. Yeah, Kate Rusby does a fantastic version of that, actually. And Steve Greenwood sang this with you at Ely 2 years ago. Steve, yes, hello. Lovely to have a fellow Elysian on board tonight. 8 Bells, a great whaling song. Thank you, Sally Jane M. Yes, it is. And Janice Marjoram says, oh, by the way, hello, everyone. Stephen, what have you got for us?
I'm going to do a song, funnily enough. I'm just going to go straight into it.
Go on, then.
There were 2 lofty ships from old England came, blow high, blow low, and so sail we. One was the Prince of Luther and the other Prince of Wales, cruising down the coast of High Barbary. Aloft there, aloft, a jolly boatswain cried, blow high, blow low, and so sail we. Look ahead, look astern, look the weatherly. Look down the coast of High Barbary. There's naught upon the stern, there's naught upon a lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. But there's a lofty ship to windward, and she's sailing fast and free. Down along the coast of High Barbary. Oh, hail her, our gallant captain cried. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. Are you a man of war, a privateer, cried he, cruising down the coast of High Barbary. For quarter, the pirates they did cry. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. With the answer that we gave them, we sunk them in the sea. Cruising down the coast of High Barbary, we were cruising down the coast of High Barbary. We were cruising down the coast of High Barbary. So, coast of High Barbary, or along the coast of High Barbary, it's a traditional, let's take that off, traditional song, round 134. It's popular between both British and American sailors. We've got it in our book by William Mayne Doerflinger, Songs of Sailors and Lumbermen, and it was most frequently sung as a kind of a we'll call that a mid-tempo ballad, but it was also documented through journals and archival field recordings as a sea shanty. When we say field, we don't mean out in the field, we mean probably out at sea. And anyway, so enough said about that. I'm going to just crack straight on, I think, because we've got a lot to do, and we will be heading over to Zoom in 6 minutes, just 6 minutes. So we need to crack on. So I'm going to do a few comments, I think, actually, I don't know if Paul has done them yet, so I don't think I will.
The first one I haven't done is see also Strike the Bell, David Woods, in reference to the 8 bell shift pattern.
Good. Yes. And Paul Dudley, this be more like it. Ha ha. Very good. Sarah Jordan, only exception to that pattern is the dog watch of 2 hours. Lovely song. Makes you wonder how those long-term sailors adjusted to life away from the sea when they eventually left their ships. Now, so I think Sarah knows her stuff. She's schooling us there.
Yeah, I've not heard the dog watch.
Yeah. Well, certainly we know through some journals that there were some many men didn't really adjust, did they? Anyway, that's maybe another story. Alison Wellens, I'm going to pop this comment on because she said, definitely lifted my spirits tonight. Thank you. Well, bless you, Alison, and you've lifted mine by leaving that comment. I'm going to stop talking and let Paul get on because we've got just 5 minutes before we head over to Zoom. What are we doing there? Well, we used to do this broadcast until 9, so we would do 90 minutes, but we decided to try and make it a wee bit more social and connecting. Is that we at 8:30 we stop this and we go over to Zoom. That doesn't go out live anywhere. It's just whoever is in the meeting gets to chat to each other about anything shanty and wet. You're very welcome, whatever country you're in, however many times you've tuned into this, or whether or not you've been along to a physical rehearsal when we used to do them. You can find out the details on our webpage, www.thevoicecloud.co.uk/Zoom. Go there. If you've got Zoom installed on your device, all the details are there that you need. Click on the link, enter the password, boom, you're in. Anyway, Paul, what have you got?
I've got a new shanty, so it's not a shanty at all because it's never been sung to accompany work. However, it is in the form of a shanty, and it's written in lyrics by our lovely Kev, who is our storyteller amongst the Rogue Shanty Chorus. He gave us some lyrics, and he asked Stephen and I to put it to music, and this is the best we could come up with. It's called A Trawling. Trawling 1,000 miles from home, in the Arctic Circle we must roam. We must trust our lucky skipper, heading north under the Big Dipper. Seagulls are a-calling as we go to sea a-trawling. When we cast our nets for hauling, we will haul, haul, haul. He looks for familiar sights and sounds as we head for the fishing grounds, punching our way through the heavy seas. We must be wary of the freeze. The seagulls are a-calling as we go to sea a-trawling. When we cast our nets for hauling, we will haul, 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 haul. Chipping away the foaming ice from the rig at any price. Young men working in their prime, away from home for weeks at a time. The seagulls are a-calling as we go to sea a-trawling. When we cast our nets for hauling, we will haul, 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 haul. The seagulls are a-calling as we go to sea a-trawling. When we cast our nets for hauling, we will haul, haul, haul. Seagulls are a-calling as we go to sea a-trawling. When we cast our nets for hauling, we will haul, haul, haul. That's called A Trawling, and it's by Stephen and I and the lovely Kev Barnard.
Yay! There you go. So look, I'm gonna let you know what this word gulch is. Gulch, from this wonderful book by Edward Moore. And gulch is what is gulch?
What is gulch?
You got it right. So many of you. Gulch is dregs, sediment, deposit of something uncleanly made, wines or beer. Hence, heavily or heaviness. A fell plumpendicular down, gulch, jigs, hills, and grouts are words of nearly similar sense, and squelch seems also cognate in sense and sound. In Scottish, glush is anything in the state of pulp, snow when beginning to melt, etc. However, this does not relate to our gross word gulch. So there you go. So many of you got it right. Dregs, sediment, deposit, etc. Look, we're now heading over to Zoom. We want to say thanks for joining us. We've got a few more comments to go. Sandra Warner, wow, that's good. Well done, Kev. Oh, just Kev. And Sarah Jordan, dog watch. If anyone did want to know, yes, please, was in the rotation of watches so that the sailors on each watch were not doing the same shift at the same time each day, apparently. Oh, there you go. There you go. Marion Bashir says, I still like gulch. Very good. Sarah says, lovely trawling song, guys. Thank you very much. Carol Fisher says, thank you. Tom says, thank you, Stephen Paul. Sorry not able to join you on Zoom tonight. No problem, Tom. Well, I hope to catch you another time. And thanks for tuning in. Sue Day, I went to the USA in 2006 to attend the World Canals Conference. My main aim was to experience the mule-drawn passenger boats. Saw 4 such boats of maybe a total of 10 in the USA. Rode on one, walked with one. Kim B says, fantastic. Thank you for a lovely session. Well, thank you, Kim. Bless you for saying so. That's very nice of you. And Nick Dwyer, skipper of the Excelsior, fascinating guy. He's been on as a guest on the streams here. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe, and in that town there was a neighbour or two. One was called Wellington and lived in a boot, a musical fellow who played a lute. Both worked on a farm and enjoyed banter and yarn. To prevent the weeds, they laid some mulch. It was made in Ghana and was branded Gulch. There you go. Brilliant. And Bernie Gooch says, thanks, lads. Well, thank you, Bernie. Thanks for joining in. And look, since it's 8:30, we're now heading over to Zoom. Whether or not you've been on one of those socials with us before, please, you're very welcome to head on over. Okay, so we're going to say thanks once again. And we will be back next week, whether you like it or not, with episode 45 of the Shanty Sessions. So with no more ado, we're off. Bye, bye, bye.